matey. If you give us Red a hard time, I'm gonna make you walk the plank. There, I had to get that out of my system. You know I love you.
Arr, it's National Pirate Day. No, it is not. But I'll let you go ahead and start here.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome to the Twisted Pair. We have got a great show for you guys tonight, and I've already started off on my cigar. Sorry about everybody else, but I've already got it started. But anyways, welcome to the Twisted Pair. I'm Graybeard, as everybody knows.
And I am Pirate Ash Red for the evening. Um, so, and this evening we have what I would like to say, he's probably going to deny it, but I would like to say a good friend of mine, uh, Hector with Quesada Cigars, and he is the national sales manager. And I've known him for like a hot minute. I don't know if he wants to claim it. But welcome to the Twisted Pair. So glad to have you on.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. This is a great pleasure. I'm actually in a lounge in Arizona, doing some visits with our partners here. And thank you for having me. I took the time, and these guys at Castro's Cigar Lounge in Arizona gave me the opportunity to kind of do this from their amazing establishment. So thank you for having me.
So if you
Well, thank you, Castros,
yes.
Thank you, Castros, for letting him come on.
Yes, if you're out in the Phoenix area, make sure you stop by. And if you stop by tonight, you can give Hector heck.
Give Hector heck. Give Hector heck. There's got to be a song in there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Hector to start working on that.
It's going to be one of those Phoenix country style songs.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna work on it.
So
too bad I don't sing.
Well, I mean, let's kick this off. All right, let's kick this off right. This is the Twisted Pair, and we're all about pairings, and I've got mine that I'm ready to dig into because as you can see, I've already got about a half inch into my cigar. So let's start off with our guest of honor tonight. And Hector, what are you pairing?
Okay, so today I'm smoking a Vega Magna Toro, which has our vintage 2000 tobacco, and then I'm pairing it. I was gonna do a Monster, but I'm gonna get some crap for it. So I'm pairing it with a Blanton's Bourbon Neat.
Very good. Neat, even. I am too. I am.
That's like 4 gold stars right there, Hector.
Yes. An allocated bourbon.
Yes.
Blanton's.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pairing it and neat and in the proper glass. The proper glass too.
So 5 stars. I should give him 5 golden stars.
See, that's what happens when you come into a great establishment where they take care of your cigars and they make sure that you have the proper drinkware and also the proper drinks, your bourbon or your spirit to pair your cigar. So shout out to Castro's. They're taking care of me.
I'm glad they're taking care of you. Thank you for taking care of Hector.
Yes, Miss Red.
Okay, so Hector has been talking about this Lancero since I think you started working with Quesada. That's this is your go-to, your favorite one, and I never have one. So I love Lanceros. If someone tells me what's your favorite size, Vitola, whatever, I always, if you really want to know how a cigar brand tastes and how good they are and how good their tobacco is, I always say go for the Lancero, because if they can get a Lancero right, then they can get the rest of their stuff right. So, see, I can't even see. Am I showing it right? Okay, there we go.
Perfect.
There you go. So that's it. Now, I just kind of grabbed stuff and I mixed it. So, Hector, since you couldn't be home tonight, I'm drinking this glass out of honor of you, Hasher. The
Ooh,
state
yeah.
of Texas still, yes, yes, yes. So, it is, it's a chocolate, oh my goodness, it's like a take on a chocolatini that I did. Um, so, uh, of course, you have your Baileys, you have your Godiva chocolate, and I added a little bit of white chocolate to it, and I added just a little bit of amaretto. So it's kind of like a
Okay.
chocolate. Oh, and it's got vodka in it, of course.
Sounds like a like a hangover tomorrow.
It sounds like you now owe me 2 recipes to go onto the website. So you better make some time, girl, and get it done.
I know.
Let's give a shout out to the Texas rep, Brian Diggins. Brian Diggins just tuned in on YouTube. So hey there, buddy. We need to have you on here at some point in time. Uh, okay, so mine. I'm the last one left. So I am smoking the Oktoberfest 2023, and the first time that I had the Oktoberfest, I think it was goodness, has it been 2 years now since you guys were out at since I saw you out at the Good Cigar in Little Elm?
Yes. Yeah. I think
I
that was a
think
2022
yeah.
edition that
So
you had.
see, yeah, I think it was yeah.
Hmm.
So it was last year, 2022.
Yeah, 2022.
Went out there, had a couple of different Casada cigars out there, and really enjoyed them. But I just loved the Oktoberfest, and so I went out and picked up the Oktoberfest. Now the website, and this is what I love. This is what I love about y'all's website is
Phenomenal
that
website.
the website gives you ideas for pairings. And I've got to say, as someone that essentially does this for a living, I can't disagree with the pairings. Cannot
Hmm.
disagree with the pairings. So, but what you guys had recommended was, was a single malt or a bourbon. And then in talking
Hmm.
with Red, she had recommended a rye, and so I went completely off. I went completely off, but I used that as my basis, and so I'm actually going with a Cabernet Sauvignon 2020 vintage from Paso Robles. This is the Mina Mesa. So it's a beautiful cab. Love it. I love my Paso Robles. Paso Robles does their wines very similar in the old world style wines. So the wines that we get from France and Italy and Spain and so forth. So, uh, folks, let us know what you are pairing. Please let us know what you are pairing, and let's get into this. Hector, tell us about how you got into cigars, and then take us into how you got connected with Casada.
Okay. So I've been smoking cigars since I was 18, and as growing up in a household with Mexican parents, I guess the first introduction was the Cuban cigar, which it was a Romeo y Julieta. That's kind of where I started my cigar journey, and then throughout the years I switched back and forth with different brands and of cigars, but mostly Cuban at the beginning, and then after that, I started kind of getting into Nicaraguan cigars, Dominican cigars, and I pretty much smoked pretty much everything under the sun available, obviously, right? And then
Hmm.
so that was kind of like my introduction to cigars. I used to kind of smoke cigars at home and at social parties, and then it kind of became more of a lifestyle where I was planning my outings based on if I could smoke a cigar or not. And if I would go to a party, I will always ask, "Hey, can I bring my cigars?" Some say yes, some say no. They said no.
And then you don't
I,
go to those.
I wouldn't go to that party. I was like, I'll stay home and smoke. Yeah, I mean, who wants to be there without a cigar, right? I mean, but that's my choice, right?
Right.
And and then so in that span of getting into cigars, I've always been in the marketing world, and that was my focus. After I left that world, I kind of semi-retired at home and just basically doing nothing, and I started kind of putting all my cigars on Instagram and doing, pictures and kind of not really doing reviews because I don't think I have that, refined palate for that. But I would just, I would just take pictures of my cigars, putting accessories like cutter, lighters, and I'm a big fan of, having matching sets, which is it's totally geeky, but that's me.
No, no, it's
that that
not. No,
it,
it's not. I
it's
love it.
kind of bougie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a
It's
bougie.
kind of bougie,
It,
but that's still good.
yes.
Well, I always say, like anything, right? If you're gonna be a mechanic, you have the best tools. If you're gonna be a plumber,
Hmm.
you have the best tools. And if you're gonna be a cigar smoker, you always gotta have a great. Oh, that's a great ash right there. Uh, you always gotta have a good lighter and a good cutter because
Hmm.
a bad cutter is gonna ruin your cigar.
Yes.
So having the
Oh yeah.
proper tools, having the proper
Hmm.
tools, always the best. If you can, if you can have them. So basically, that's kind of how it happened. And then I met some great people in the cigar industry, which Billy and Gus, who own Viva la Vida, those guys are
Hmm.
great. They're good friends
Hmm.
of mine, and they kind of got me started in the cigar business, if you want to call it that. I started repping for a brand, and as everything, traveling and getting to know people, and that's how I developed the partnerships and friendships with all these shops in Texas. And then
Hmm.
that ended, and I was thinking, well, if I was gonna stay in the cigar industry or I was gonna move on to the marketing world, and that's when I met the wonderful people from Quesada, and we started talking, and it was just like an instant connection of how the view they had and what I wanted to do, and we just clicked. It was really a great partnership that we started creating, and really like a great communication because first we started zooming in and doing kind of like an interview if I was the right fit for them or even they were the
Hmm.
right fit for me because I'm a firm believer that you got to believe in your product and
Hmm.
if I'm smoking a cigar and I'm not really digging it or I don't love it,
Hmm.
I don't think I could sell it to anyone.
Right.
So that was
It's
a
gonna be a hard
number.
sell.
Yeah, yeah, and then, I mean, Red knows me personally, and she's been at events what I'm doing, and even you guys have been there, and you can see that you have to really push the cigar, and
Hmm.
but you have to believe in it. If you're not
Hmm.
Oh,
enjoying it, I don't think you can sell that cigar. So
Hmm.
that's kind of how I became in there, and then I met Manolo and Raquel. I mean, they're great people. I mean, Manolo, he's a pillar in this industry. He's a legend. People, have wonderful stories about him,
Hmm.
and I couldn't be more excited to work with somebody like that. He
Hmm.
mentors me. If I ever have a question about anything, I can always call him. I mean, even to the times that I've been sick, he would call me like, "Are you okay? How you feeling?" I remember like our first PCA with Quesada, everybody got sick with
Hmm.
COVID. And I remember I got home and he called me and I was like really bad. Like I was coughing
Hmm.
and he called me. He's like, "Are you okay? Take some days to rest." And I wanted to keep working, but he's like, "No, no, no, no. You got to stay healthy and rest." And it
Hmm.
just gives you an idea of how of a great person he is. Instead of
Hmm.
like, yeah, go out there or be on the phone selling, you'd be like, you need to rest and make sure that you're 100%.
Yeah.
And then, have your rest, make sure you're good, and then go out there. So, I mean, that just says a lot about the type of person he is.
Yeah. So,
it's
well, first
go
of all,
ahead.
I want to show off my app because you got to show off yours, and
Woo!
like
Yeah.
I have no doing that, but like my thing
Well,
is
look,
like
I also want look at this nice burn cone too.
dome. Yeah, it's got a good
Yeah, I
too.
mean
Yeah,
that's a nice cone
that's
there.
yeah, and that's what you
Hmm.
want to look for. That's why we're showing the ash. You want it to stack, and then we're showing the cones because that's important too. But like I'm gonna have to say because like me knowing you personally and like before Casada and after Casada, it's just to see how like and I've told you this before. It's like I can see the joy and happiness because you're really loving what you're doing. And when you love a company that you work for and they're coming in like after everybody got COVID, instead of saying, "Why aren't you sending emails?" You may not go out, but you can send emails, you can send texts, you can check up. And you had, when you first started with them, you had a huge territory because Texas has got a lot of cigar shops. Um, and so that that just speaks volumes right there of saying, hey, we care more about you and your health, and that's first. We're going to take care of our people first than our,
Correct.
product. So that says volumes. But my point is like, you know, it's just the greatness to see the happiness that you really enjoy what you do, because of every time I see you, you have a happiness, and you're always. This is the only cigar you smoke now. You don't smoke anything else.
Well, sometimes I need to smoke other cigars because obviously like I ran into people at the time and they tell me what cigar they're smoking, and I need to make sure that for example, so I just was in a shop earlier today, and I ran into someone who's like, well, I smoked the Davidoff this, Davidoff that. Okay, what is in your lines that it could be something that I would like. And so I really
Mm-hmm.
have to know that profile in order to make
Yep.
sure to suggest something. So even though I smoke a lot of Quesada cigars, even in my off days or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
I do smoke, I do grab other cigars and make sure that I know what's going on. Like new cigars are coming out, old cigars. I pretty and I have smoked a lot of other cigars in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
in a way, like for example, someone tells me they like broadleaf, a certain brand that use a lot of broadleaf.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can kind of tell them, all right, look, so we have this one. And for example, we have in our lines we have a barber pole which has broadleaf and Ecuadorian Connecticut, which is a great cigar.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives it a different edge to the cigar. So it might be a profile that you enjoy. Try that one, or our
Mm-hmm.
darker cigar, our Casamagna Oscuro. That's also a great cigar. So you always have to be on top of what's coming out and what people are smoking to be able to suggest something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for brands to smoke other brands to be able to do just exactly what you're talking about, because you may be in a lounge to where they don't have the Davidoff, because it takes quite an investment for a Davidoff to be in a particular lounge, and for you to be able to say, okay, you smoke the Davidoff Nika uh, Robusto. Well, we've got this one over here that has a similar profile and be able to speak to
Mm-hmm.
that. Otherwise, you take a chance on either A, that lounge losing that customer,
Mm-hmm.
or because, while you're there, you are repping that lounge too. You're not just repping
Mm-hmm.
Casada, but you're also repping that lounge. And
Yep.
B, worse, you take a chance on losing the opportunity of introducing them to your offerings. So
Oh,
I appreciate that. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you're totally right. For example, last night it was late. I was in this same lounge where I'm in right now. I was, I'm fortunate enough to build great, friendships with people. And so some of the guys were here. We were smoking, I was still smoking Quesada, and some people came into the humidor, and Don, who works here, said, "Hey Hector, can you help these guys?" And so I walk in the
Mm-hmm.
humidor, and they're talking. I like this cigar, I like this other cigar, and so I explained what was available at the humidor, and one of them grabbed our D Magnus Tiberius, which is our oval cigar, and that's an all Nicaraguan cigar. So he grabbed it and he was sitting down and he was smoking it. And he came up to me after he finished his cigar and said, "Hector, I really appreciate your help and I really love this cigar. It's actually I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna start buying this cigar because I like it." And so
Mm-hmm.
just to have that opportunity to tell someone about the cigar and listen. I mean, I think that's the number one thing that some people don't do is listen to what
Mm-hmm.
the other person is smoking and maybe the notes that they're picking up,
Mm-hmm.
because not everybody has a sharp palate where they can pick up like uh, cranberry or whatever, or so if somebody just wants a good cigar that it will taste good and it will leave a nice flavor in his palate, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's
Hmm.
going to pair it with something. So you know simple is better sometimes instead of overcomplicating
Right.
things with all these notes or of whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's good to know that you know your blends and that you know on the regions, and so you understand the differences between the Connecticut broadleaf and the Ecuadorian broadleaf.
Mm-hmm.
That's very very important to know because that brings out different types of notes in what the cigar has to offering. So it's not just the seed, but the seed from one region to another
Right.
region is going to be different. Just like a
Right.
grape and a wine or a
Correct.
coffee bean
Mm-hmm.
from one region to another region is going to be
Next.
different.
It's gonna be. Okay. So this is just like phenomenal. I'm just gonna say, right, it's just so far, it is phenomenal. Retro Hell is just like perfect. Like it's very enjoyable. It's you know, it's not too overpowering on the retro because like there's sometimes you can smoke some cigars and it just like burns the heck and it's not a
Hmm.
comfortable retro hell. But like this is just like I'm sitting here thinking like God, you know, it's nice with what I'm drinking, but I was like, man, I wish I had some red wine. I really do. Like I
I
wish I had some wine to go with this. But can you tell us about what the wrapper and the blend is
You
on?
know, it's funny that it's funny that you say that because all day today I've been smoking lanceros, that particular lancero, and it has that beautiful Ecuadorian wrapper, and you know
Mm-hmm.
the binder is Dominican, our filler is Dominican Nicaraguan. So what
Mm-hmm.
it does is that cigar has that floral, you know, like a
Yes.
floral medium body creaminess. That
Yes.
Ecuadorian is such a
Mm-hmm.
luscious wrapper that is so aromatic. And so when you're
Mm-hmm.
smoking that cigar, you know, the first thing that I'm drawn to when I smoke that cigar is I want like a coffee, just because I
Yeah.
think that pairs great with it. You know, I'm not a wine drinker. I don't drink wine at all. And today I'm making a big exception of having
He is
this
for us.
amazing bourbon to go with my
Mm-hmm.
cigar. But normally I'm a coffee guy. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not coffee, I'm a energy drink drinker. But you know, so I think that if you compare that cigar with like a red wine, I'm sure it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be really nice because of that floral essence that
Mm-hmm.
wrapper has. So
Yeah.
in everything that we have has been aged. So it's not something that you know it's gonna be a new cigar or maybe a tobacco that you're gonna smoke and it's gonna seem it's a green tobacco where it's like it has that pungent taste to it. So
Yeah.
all our
Mm-hmm.
stuff has been curated. I mean, Manolo does a great job with the blending, and you know the factory guys do a great job with making the cigar for you. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think that you know what, next time I'm gonna get some red wine and see if that pairing it works for me. I need to try it now.
Yeah.
I could see it going because this one here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the Oktoberfest and I've already taken off the 2023 band on it because I'm soaking through this. Um, I know nothing about the blend on it. Going out to the website. So again, my question is going to be the same on the blend on this. Um, if I had to guess, I would say I would say that there's some Ecuadorian in this one.
Okay.
Um, I would also. I'm also going to say. I'm also going to. I'm. It's the wrapper is either going to be a Habano wrapper. My guess is the wrapper's either Habano wrapper or San Andres.
Okay. So the rapper is San Andres. So you got that
Boom.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The binder is Dominican and the filler is
Mm-hmm.
Dominican. So the only thing the San Andres wrapper, that's pretty much the only thing that is not Dominican. Everything else is. So that's why you get
Mm-hmm.
that really uh, medium body to you know
Mm-hmm.
this is gonna be subjective because I smoke really strong cigars. So to me, this
Mm-hmm.
cigar is more of a medium, right? It can be medium
Yeah.
plus to someone depending on how you smoke. But the Mexican San Andres, you know, the characteristics
Mm-hmm.
of that leaf is just it's so aromatic. It has
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that bitter chocolate, you know,
Yes.
and
Yep.
so for you to be pairing it with that wine, I think it's a right choice because you know
It's a perfect
normally
choice. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because normally have
Uh,
that when you have that chocolate and the wine it goes together, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
well, and I'm definitely picking up, that deep cocoa I'm getting some coffee notes out of this. And the reason why I was going Ecuadorian is because I'm getting a little bit of subtle of the fruitiness, but getting I can get that from the Dominican as well. So I wasn't
Yeah.
too far off there. It's pairing beautifully with this wine. I mean, absolutely beautifully with this wine.
Well, and I also want to talk about one of my favorites that y'all have. I think it's the Casa Magna, like
Mhm.
the Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Correct. And I'm going to say this. I'm not like, because the ones that I have, they're the bigger ring gauge than what I like. I'm not a big ring gauge girl, you know. And on y'all's, I don't mind doing that big ring gauge that y'all have. To me, it's like big. It feels big. But it is such a smooth smoke. It's an enjoyable smoke. So do you mind talking about the Colorados and that?
Yeah, so the Colorado, I don't know if a lot of people know that was a cigar of the year in 2008 by Cigar
Hmm.
Aficionado. So that
Mm-hmm,
right off the bat, that tells you a great deal about that cigar. We just got I believe we got rated last year. We made top 25 cigars
mm-hmm,
by Cigar Aficionado. I think it was rated 96 um, again by Cigar Aficionado. So it's a big deal, and it's that cigar is all Nicaraguan, so Nicaraguan wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. So it's a Nicaraguan puro. And the good thing
mm-hmm,
about that cigar is that we have different sizes. We have the Gigantor, which is
mm-hmm,
our 6x64. We have our Bellicoso 6.5 by 54. We have our Grand Toro, our Churchill, our the Torito, which is a shorter 4.5 by 60. And then we
mm-hmm,
also
Oh,
have a
like a
Robu. Yeah, that packs a
mm-hmm,
punch.
yeah.
I don't really smoke that cigar because to me that's a really first of all I don't like big ring gauges, so I stick to like a smaller ring gauge. For example,
mm-hmm,
Lancero is one of my favorite, but we do have a Corona for well, I mean I'm sorry, a Piquito
mm-hmm.
for that
Yeah.
blend. And the Piquito, I believe, is a 4.5 by 42, so it's a little bigger than ring gauge of a Lancero. But that's a great
Mm-hmm,
cigar. I mean, the boxes we put it in is a box of 50. So, I used to carry, just go and grab a handful of those cigars and take it home, and I'll just sit there and smoke a few doing, my yard work or whatever. But that's a size that you definitely need to try, that Piquito size.
mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
definitely nice. You enjoy it. You will enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
I'm definitely intrigued by that size because
Mm-hmm,
it's um it's a little bit bigger than the petite Corona, but not as big as the
mm-hmm.
Corona. And so
Correct.
Right.
that's that nice, 30, 45 minutes type smoke. And we all
Yes.
need.
Mm-hmm,
Here's the thing, everybody has their favorite go-tos, but who wants to pick up a Toro or a Churchill or a Gordito when you've only got 30 to 45 minutes and you
Mhm.
want to get a smoke? And a lot of people will just not smoke saying, I don't have the time. Well,
yeah, you got
fill
time.
your
There's other
fill your
sizes.
humid yes, grab some other sizes. Fill your humidor with a variety of different types of vitolas for that very reason. That's why it's like if I've got 35 minutes, I'm going for a smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And
That
No,
way
in
I'm
that's
our
not
in our
wasting money.
yeah, I know in
and
our
that's
Liga F line we have the Petit Corona, and it comes in a pack of
mm-hmm,
fives. I mean that alone, it's a great cigar. It's a you can take it everywhere. You take a few and you put them in a little bag, and then you're gonna go to a party, but you want to smoke a cigar. That takes you 20 minutes. You smoke that cigar,
mm-hmm,
you go back to the party. If they're not cigar friendly, and you can still get
mm-hmm,
you get your smoke on. You still get that fix that you need of your cigar, but
mm-hmm.
it's sometimes I walk the dog and I take one of those, and my neighbors think I'm crazy because I'm like out there smoking a cigar, walking my dog.
Now that's what you should do. That's what you should do.
That's
That's how you walk the
exactly what
dog.
you should
The
do.
neighbor's crazy because he's not walking the dog and smoking a cigar. But see, that's the thing is I don't think people realize like all the facing that y'all have to offer. See, and like for me, I've seen like some of the things, but I guess it's like I kind of never really realized how much there was until I actually went to one of y'all's events. And I was like, holy crap, they
I
have
was
a
the
lot
same.
to choose
Yeah.
from. Y'all have a lot to choose from the consumer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I was wondering, okay, why was it? Because I was came from the assumption that that Quesada Cigars was a newer brand, like with it just like newer like within the past 20 years. And then in doing my research on it,
Hmm.
you guys have been around since the 1800s.
Over 150 years, I believe, right? Over
Uh,
150 years, something like that. It's been a hot minute, and it's been in the family. It's a family business, which is beautiful.
Yes, yes. The family business is run by is run by the Quesada family. Right now
Hmm.
is Manolo and Raquel Quesada who are spearheading this company, and then and then the rest of us, kind of supporting, everything. But yeah, I mean, we're about to get into our 50. We're gonna celebrate our 50-year anniversary. I guess rolling cigars. So that's super exciting. And I know I'm gonna get asked this question, so I'm just gonna get out of the way right now. Because I already saw the Instagram, harassment. But what I was smoking that I put that was censored. It's something that we're working on to celebrate such a milestone. So now you hear it here first. No one knows. So that's something that
Yay!
I'm gonna get a call from my boss. Like, what the
which
what the hell are you
which
doing?
Blame me.
which
Tell him
which is a good
y'all felt pity for the pirate.
yes. So
Arr, arr.
that is a good segue. We need to take a pause for a moment as we go into our news and events. Okay, Red, I need some events. I'm getting bored.
Okay,
What do we got?
so okay, so I know for a fact coming up there is an event for Lake Worth. They told me that they are having their annual kind of like their annual bash where they have about like 20 different vendors. They have this great, I'm trying to remember, it's like a hound. I just see the hound dog, but it's this, they come and they bring all these amazing sipping bourbons, ryes, that you can partake. And there is like seriously, there's over like I felt like when I was there the other day, it was like 20 offerings that they have, and they kind of help you pair with cigars. So that is October the 20th, and that is going to be from like 10 a.m. to I believe like 5 or 6. So I will be there. I'm super excited about it. In fact, that's actually where I met Hector several years ago. Was
Yep.
at Lake Worth, and you know, we were. He was behind me at the table. I was at the other table opposite of him. So they have that coming up, and then we also have coming up is the Nacogdoches. It's tobacco uh, coming up. I've talked about that. You need to get your tickets for that because that is
Before they get
coming.
sold out, because they will
Yeah,
sell
because they're
out.
gonna sell. They will sell out quick, and you can get a ticket where you can have the entire weekend or just that Saturday. Our good friend Karen will be there. Drew Estate will be there. So go check that out. And they basically kind of shut down the main street where it is, and they're gonna have food, music. Um, Also, if you have noticed and followed on Graybeards and I's Instagrams and Facebook and LinkedIn, we are always posting events. So if you are a local area, it doesn't matter if you're in Florida, New York, Arizona, let us know and we will post it on our website. Even if it's just like a cut and light,
Yep.
we're all about supporting our brick and mortars. So that's the event. People send me events and we will let y'all know about it.
Yeah, if I can plug in, my
Please, please.
Brian who works,
Mm-hmm.
who's taking over the Texas and Louisiana territory. He has a couple events lined up. If you follow him on Instagram or me, you'll see me or him posting all his events. So if you're in the area,
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a couple like in the Houston area, Kylene. He's doing a couple events, so I'll make sure I send you those
Please do.
digital flyer so you can put them out there and go and say hi to Brian, and buy some of our cigars.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so we've got some interesting news in both the cigar and the whiskey industry. Right off the bat, Avo Cigars releases their fall limited edition 2023 is now available in stores. Now, if you don't know who AVO is, then you're missing out. Avo, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's
Avo.
the First of all, Avo is part of the Davidoff cigar line right now, and has been since Davidoff purchased it to kind of help out the sons, Avo's sons. Avo was a jazz musician first and
Mhm.
foremost, and then got into cigars. So if you haven't checked out their cigars, Joe, go check it out. Limited edition, 2023
Right.
limited edition is now available in stores. I'm going to leave my favorite one of this for last. The Redbreast Irish Whiskey unveils its newest Redbreast Tawny Port
What?
Edition.
Oh!
Now,
Okay.
the
Uh-oh.
it,
It's
the
hot.
inspiration for
Mhm.
this cask edition started 12 years ago when master blender Billy Lighton took a trip to Douro Valley in Portugal to visit some of Middleton's distillery partners, cooperages, and makers. He states, we're enjoying lunch with the late renowned winemakers Joachim Analcito and Gespro winemaker Jose Pinheiro, overlooking the valley, discussing the various wines and spirits that influenced our whiskeys. Now, if you're not familiar with
Uh-huh.
Redbreast is one of the top Irish whiskeys
Yeah.
there is. And a tawny port
Mm.
edition, oh, that is going to be so good.
You held
But
out on me. You didn't tell me that.
you
You're
know,
proud of me. You're proud of
you've
me.
held out many on me. But what I'm really excited about, okay, we've talked about blackened. When we had Pedro on a couple of weeks ago, we talked
Mhm.
about blackened whiskey and
Mhm.
what Rob Dietrich is really doing with blackened whiskey. Well,
Mhm.
they are partnering with Cave Zamanan for a Masters of Whiskey series.
Hmm.
And they announced
Wow.
today groundbreaking collaboration with Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame whiskey maker Kavaz Zamanian, founder of the renowned craft distillery Rabbit Hole,
Oh
for a
wow.
collaboration. Now,
Hmm.
what these guys, I mean, we have got two
That's gonna be an
big names.
interesting one.
I,
Mhm.
I am a big fan. I mean, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Blackened, and I'm a
Right.
big
It's
fan
good.
of Rabbit Hole. The
Yeah.
Rabbit Hole series is just a
Mhm.
beautiful series. And having been
So
to
do
that
I.
distillery and having talked with him,
Mhm.
I mean, this is going to be an incredible collaboration. So they just announced it today. Also, if you've been a fan of Sagamore Rye,
Mhm.
and I know you're a fan of Sagamore Rye, Red,
Mhm.
because we've talked about
I do.
Sagamore.
Mhm.
Sagamore Rye was recently purchased by Lava Consortium Group out of Italy.
Hmm.
Major stakeholders. This group, we know them very well from Disaronno. They're the owners
Mhm.
of Disaronno.
This is
So they're in
Toronto.
160 different countries. Now think
Yeah.
about what that means for Sagamore. They're even
Yeah.
moving their U.S. headquarters to the Baltimore
Wow.
Peninsula to be there with Sagamore. They're not planning on changing what Sagamore's doing. What they're
Mhm.
wanting to do is expand it and
Band it.
open it up. So we're going
Yeah.
to see good things from all three of these distilleries, good things
I'm
from
excited.
Avo, and we've already gotten a hint of what's coming up from Hector with
Mhm.
Quesada. And
Yes.
there's our news and events.
Well, there
I did that last time and cut off last time, so as well
So go
cut
ahead,
off red.
Hector. Go tell us what you were
No,
saying.
so I was gonna say, obviously you're smoking the Oktoberfest 2023 edition, and that was a
Yeah,
instant hit. Um,
it sold out
yeah, so
like
so I only
immediately.
so I only been with Quesada is gonna be I'm gonna hit the 2 year mark, which is going so fast. But
Hmm.
this is the first time that I think that our Oktoberfest actually sold out even before shipping. So when
Hmm.
we doing the pre-sales, um, we wanted to do the pre-sales in PCA, and we were at the booth, selling the cigar, and then people were giving us their orders, and I was telling them, look, you better make sure to get a little more into your order because this thing is gonna sell out. Some of
Hmm.
them didn't listen, some of them did. I was here, I'm here in Arizona, obviously, and the stores that I visited, mo- most of them are sold out,
Yeah.
and some of them were putting them away for actually when October hits, have it in October. And so the
Hmm.
store that I'm at, I think that they bought like 20 boxes and they have one left, which is crazy. And so some of them already sold out.
Because they just like went out to like retail like not too
Yeah,
long ago.
no, like we
Like
started shipping 2 weeks ago. So
yeah,
two
I was
weeks
about to
ago
Well,
we
say it
shipped.
was about like a week or two ago, and dang. So if you haven't gotten them, and make sure that you look up where Casada is sold and get it, because let me tell you, it is definitely worth having, um, and it's a limited edition. So
Yeah,
there you
so
go.
I
so I told the stores if you want to order more, you can tell me. They're like, oh, you have it 2023. I was like, no, 2024. It's like you can. They didn't think it was funny. I thought it was funny. They didn't think it was funny.
No, I could see them not thinking it was funny as the
oh
retailer.
oh yeah. Well, even the retail shop that I got mine from today, I noticed the box. The box was more than half empty, and I didn't see any other boxes around. So if you want to get the Oktoberfest 2023, which I'm going to tell you right now, you want to get some Oktoberfest 2023. That'll be a little bit of a hint to our final verdict coming up in 17 minutes. Stick around for the final verdict. Stick around for more great conversations from Hector. But yes, it's you got to pick this up.
Yeah. So on top of
Let's
that,
take a. I was going to
go
say
ahead.
let's
I'm
just
sorry.
take a. No, you're good. You're good. I'm I'm going to prepare everybody, and then you go ahead with what you're saying. I do want before we get to the final verdict, I do want to see how the pairings are going. But go ahead with what you were going to say, because I don't.
No, so I was saying, so make sure. So on top of the Torrefest that is sold out, we have a special cigar start shipping next week, which is our Colorado 15th anniversary. So 15 years ago, the
Yes.
Colorado was announced, and so
Hmm.
it's a limited edition cigar. We are almost sold out. We were a little more aggressive on the quantity of boxes that we made for the cigar. It's
Hmm.
a and it's a beautiful beautiful box, beautiful cigar, Habano 2000, and then Nicaraguan and Dominican filler and binder. So it's a great cigar. And so if you see them, make sure you pick one up because obviously we only made 3,000 boxes, and most of it sold out already. So and we're actually holding off. I'm selling more because what I know is going to happen is once it hits the stores next week, people are going to buy it and it's going to sell out and then we're going to
Yeah.
start getting calls again. So I'm holding off on a bunch of boxes to make sure that we can send out again because we're going to run into the same thing with the Oktoberfest. So
Hmm.
I learned
You
from the
learned your lesson.
from the Oktoberfest, and I want to make sure that the people who buy one or two get the chance to buy some more. So if you see that cigar, if you don't see it, ask for it. If you see it, grab a couple, keep because it's a great cigar. If it's a great tasting cigar, not because we sell it, and it's our cigar, but it's actually truly a good cigar that you can pair it with pretty much anything. I mean, I tried it with bourbon, I tried it with a coffee, and it hits the spot right there. So, make sure that you grab those. And we have some other stuff planned for November, and it's gonna be really really. something I'm really excited because if you know me and if you have heard this conversation, how what's my favorite size, something's coming up in November,
Ooh.
which I'm really excited. And
Ooh.
I smoked a lot of
Oh.
cigars. If you belong to our Quesada Cigars in Facebook, you'll see that I posted something in there, and that's what is coming
Yeah, I
up.
gotta
So
go
if you
back and look because I remember you posted something, but I don't remember what it
yes, so
was.
go back and look, and you're gonna see
Ah,
what we're gonna come up with. And so
That
and I'm
now I'm
so
gonna have to
excited.
go back and look too, because I was over there earlier today, and I'm gonna have to definitely go back and look to as well.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's not go into our pairings. Let's just actually do that when we hit our final verdict. We've got a lot of different viewers that tune into the show, and many people are going to watch the show after the fact.
mhm,
I I want to hear if you're talking to somebody that's never smoked a Casada cigar, and I know you have many times, never heard of you guys. What is your elevator speech? Who is Casada?
mhm.
What do you try to offer to to the consumers?
So it's I've been saying this all over and over, and really I can't say it enough times. So we have amazing people at the factory making cigars.
Mhm.
We're making cigars for almost 50 years, and so we make amazing. Our people are amazing, great craftsmen. You know, they give it all at the factory. So I
Mhm.
consider our guys amazing, and we make cigars for amazing people, which is you guys and everyone. And so that's my elevator pitch. You know, we
Mhm.
have great cigars and we have something for everyone. You know, from
Mhm.
our Connecticut, from our Ecuadorians, from our Habano, from our Sungrowns, from our our Barber Poles. We have a cigar pretty much for everyone. You know, we have our all Nicaraguan cigars. We have ones that are mixed, with Nicaraguan and Dominican, and
Mhm.
we have our limited editions. So we have
Mhm.
something for everyone. It's just that we were present at some point, and like anything, we went through some changes, but we're back and stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Full support from factory and Manolo and Raquel. They're great. I'm doing a couple events in October with Raquel in different places, and so we have a cigar for everyone. You just have to give us a chance and go in there and try one out, and you'll find something that you like. And it will be honored if you put it in your rotation for cigars. That's basically
Mhm.
my goal. I don't want to rule the world. I don't want to rule the humidor. I
Mhm.
just want to have my cigars in your humidor, and you think of us when you're smoking something great, and you keep coming back for them.
I do want to mention one cigar, and the like the shape of it is unusual. It's a different
Yes,
cigar.
yes, yes,
So
yes, yes,
I
yes.
want you to, and you know exactly which one I'm talking about. So so if you wouldn't mind, and talk about our unusual cigar that we have there.
Is that the oval or the? Because we
The
have two. So we have two ones that are like the. We have one that is our Solomon box press, which is
mhm.
it's for this year for the Oktoberfest. But we have this Tiberius, which is our oval cigar.
Yes, your oval cigar.
Okay, so I
Yeah.
always get in trouble. I always get in trouble when I talk about the cigar because this cigar has an unusual shape, which is an oval shape. So once you are smoking the cigar, I'm being careful what I say. Once you're smoking the cigar and you're placing the cigar to
Hmm.
be smoked, it's a really pleasant feel because of the shape. So
Yes.
it fits perfect. It handles perfect. The
Hmm.
draw is great. It's an all Nicaraguan cigar. It's made with our partnership with Placencia with us, and so it's just a great cigar to smoke. And it's a medium to full body. It's earthy. It has a lot of great components, but it's not going to be your pepper bomb of a usual
Right.
Nicaraguan cigar,
It isn't at
which I
all.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's a like it is a very after dinner smoke. I mean, you can smoke it at any time, but if you've had like a big old steak or a big old dinner, you could actually enjoy that. to me, like if I was doing a blind testing and didn't know anything of it, it would be very hard for me. I would be thinking more of Ecuadorian or Dominican, because it's not that pepper bomb that we were talking about. It's not there. It's a
Correct.
phenomenal, it's a very enjoyable cigar. So,
Yes, it is. It is, and the tobacco is an excellent tobacco, and being from Nicaragua, a lot of people are gonna expect that pepper bomb or
yeah. And
in your face, but it's not. It's just a smooth
no.
cigar with a lot of flavor. So
Hmm.
I think that's what I really
Hmm.
love about that cigar.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sounds like it may have some tobacco from Jalapa, from the Jalapa region there in Nicaragua.
Yeah, I'm not certain exactly the regions. The all I know is
Hmm.
Nicaragua, but the regions I don't know.
Hmm.
That's a great question that I'm gonna find out because now I
Yeah.
want to know.
We did have a great question from Billionaire about the October Fest cigar. Yeah, I'm not able to read that, so
I will read it.
thank
So
you.
so billionaire says I'm kind of new to the brand. Do you release an annual Oktoberfest cigar and or how often? So yes they do. I'll answer
Hmm.
that one.
Hmm.
What year
Hmm.
was the first release of the Oktoberfest and why did Casada, and I'm really interested on this answer here,
Yeah.
why did Casada decide to make an Oktoberfest cigar?
Okay, I'm guessing, and I don't even know exactly, but I think the first release of the Oktoberfest was 2010. Okay,
Oh,
that's what I.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
yeah, because I have some cigars that I brought from the factory, and they were 2011, I believe. So it's
Wow.
like it's been around for a bit.
It's been
The
around for a hot
question
minute.
about why they decided now, that's a Manolo question, because I don't know why they decided, but I'm guessing, hey, we need a cigar to be paired with some beer. Let's create
Yeah.
something great. So I need to ask Manolo that, and I'll get back to you on that, because I have,
Hmm.
you, I don't have all the answers, and people think that when
Hmm.
they talk to me, I'm going to be this wizard with every. No, I don't. I have so much
Just
information that I
go
can
stand in
fit.
the corner. Just go stand in the corner. Stand in the corner,
you know,
Hector. No, I'm
but
just
but
kidding.
but I do my best to answer all the questions. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah. No,
I
and
know
I
better.
appreciate that.
My dad told me, like, if you don't know the answer, just say I don't know and let me find out and then
Hmm.
come back with it. So
Yeah.
I stick to that, because then if I say something and it's not true,
It's
oh, that heck,
wrong.
that's a
You
no,
look like a
left from
fool.
right. Yeah,
You
yeah.
look like
So
you
so.
look like this. You look like a pirate. Okay?
I
Arr,
You look like a fool.
arr.
I,
Arr.
I do want to give a shout out to Reds and my other partner who's been able to tune in,
Yay!
Spice Man.
Hey, Spice
So
Man.
hey there, Spice Man. Uh, I just want to kind of let everybody know that this guy is working hard. He's got
Hmm.
three children, three babies under the age of three, and you know he is
It's
working
hard when you
hard.
have them that little.
Yes, it's
Just gonna say
very
that.
hard. So if you guys haven't been seeing him around, that's why.
Yeah.
He's building up a new business with the company that he works for. He's putting
Hmm.
in, 10, 12-hour days and then coming home and trying to relieve his wife who's been taking care of three under the
Big.
age of 3. So,
And I
big
can tell
shout
you
out.
have done. Yeah, I can tell you have done that. Have done that because I had four under four at one time, and I was ready for their dad to come home because like I stayed at home with them. It was insanity. But another thing I want to bring up about Casada, they have the easiest bands in the world to take off. That is
Yes.
like
Yes.
that is something that is huge. And I know some people are laughing like why, but every single band, and y'all have no, if y'all have been following me for the last couple of weeks, I've been like a Casada groupie. I've been stalking Hector, I've been stalking Brian, but that also tells you, y'all know if I don't like something, I don't post it. If I don't like it, I don't post it. And someone messaged me the other day and they said, "How many cigars do you smoke a year?"
Whoa, wow, that's
And
tough.
Graybeard, what? Yeah, what? How many did we come up with that we smoked last year?
Um, I think last year we came up with about 1,200. 2021 we came up with about the 13 to 1,400. 2020,
Yeah.
I think I hit 1,700 cigars in
Yeah,
2020
like
myself.
yeah. So my thing is if it's not good, I'm not gonna post it. And y'all have noticed that I've blown it up because it's like I support them. It's a great product. The tobacco is beautiful. And I know that you said that y'all's tobacco is aged. So I kind of want to talk about like y'all's tobacco, the process and everything that y'all do down there with it because it's not I don't want to say green tobacco, but it's not like just 2 years old, you know.
No, I mean, imagine the family. Just to go back on your numbers, I just did a quick math on my calculator on how many cigars I smoke. A year, I smoke about 2,000 cigars, which is
Yeah,
crazy. Which is
It's
yeah,
crazy, right?
crazy. It's crazy
Yeah,
it's
when you think about it and you start putting those numbers together.
yeah,
Um, um, I need to answer this one here real quick. Matt, we cannot state any stores where to go find them, but I can say that Quesada's website does have a store finder,
yes,
and
thank
that you
you.
can go out and
Mhm,
find where to find them in your area. They're
mhm,
all over the U.S. And
mhm.
I will message you afterwards of where we can find them
Yes,
here in our area.
yeah,
yes.
because we don't want to get
Okay.
kicked off YouTube.
Yeah,
No,
and then
Um,
there's a
YouTube
question.
will kick us off. We've been kicked off of
Yeah,
YouTube before.
yeah, yeah. There's a question of what's the oldest cigar I have in my humidor. Um,
ah,
I have a lot of cigars that are Quesada. They're old, and the reason is because every time I go to the factory, I go into the aging room, and I'm gonna
well,
use this word. I relocate those
yeah,
cigars
yeah.
from
What
the
was the last
factory
one you relocated, my
to
friend?
to my humidors, so I
Yeah,
can
what
So
tell
was the
you what.
if
last
you,
one you relocated? Let's talk about that one. Do you know which
what
one I'm talking about?
I want to say if he wants to relocate anymore, I know a guy.
Oh,
So I think
you couldn't find that one, and it was you know where because
so.
you had yeah
So
yeah. So he
some of the
relocates a
oldest I
lot.
have are from 2004, 2003 cigars in my
Oh,
humidor. So
coming on 20 years.
they're pretty well aged, and I have some Oktoberfest that are 2011, and that
You didn't
box
even
was
let me know about that, bro.
so
Like
that box is it was brand new. It was still sealed, and I was in the aging room, and I saw it, and it's like a shape of a house, right? And so I'm
that's the
looking
one I
at
was
it.
talking about.
Oh, and then I told Enrique, who's my boss at the factory. I was like, hey Enrique, what's that? So I was like, can you open that? And it's sealed. And he's like, no. And I'm like, come on, let's see it. He's like, all right. So I even took a video and I put it up on my on Instagram. And so we opened that box, and the little Oktoberfest kind of the pig style
Hmm.
size, and
Hmm.
somehow ended up in my humidor at home. So I don't know how that
It
happened.
grew legs. It chased after you. It chased. That's the one I was talking about. That's the one that I wanted to say ran away from the factory and ended up
Yeah, yeah,
in your
yeah,
humidor.
yeah. So
So
Well,
yeah,
I smoked a couple, and they're great. I mean, they're great cigars. I need to
let's
watch it because I can go over them real quick.
let's take a brief moment, and we will be right back with our final verdict. Okay, Red,
okay.
you're on the chopping block first. What's the final verdict?
Okay, so y'all know, and I said, and I've always said this. We've said it on the show. Graybeard's even said it. We've had our guests say it. If you want to know how a cigar tastes, you do the Lancero. Because if they can handle a Lancero, then they can handle any other Vitola. And this, uh, this, like seriously, and I don't know, the last 2 weeks I've been saying this, and it kind of like scares me. But I could buy like 20 boxes of this. Now I understand why this is your favorite. It is it is a gorgeous cigar. It's that it's like the retro hell, the creaminess, and that's the thing is like you get the Ecuadorian, you get the Dominican, and anybody who knows me, my number one thing that I go for is Nicaraguan. I love Nicaraguan and I love the puros. Anything Nicaraguan, Nicaraguan, Nicaraguan. That's just me. But this brother is like I would have 20 boxes of this Lancero in my humidor. I would seriously like buy it so I could smoke it like 3 or 4 times a day because it's that good. So that says something right there because normally I'm one about versatility. I enjoyed it with mine, but I kind of wish that I had like a red wine. I really do. I think it would have been good with like my like I love my dessert wines. I love my Messina Hoff wines. Like I'm a big Texas wine girl because I'm all about Texas and I love Texas, so everything's about Texas. Uh, I just feel like it would have just done really beautifully with that, and I 100% get what you're saying with the coffee. It would have been good with like an espresso with some of that cream. And the thing is like because I did have a little bit of cream in mine and the amaretto, I really think that it brought that out. So, would this be a go-to pairing? No. But would it be a go-to cigar? Fuck yes. So there you
All
go.
right, you heard it right there. It's not just an everyday smoke. It's a 2 or 3 times an everyday
Yeah, I
smoke.
could seriously
And
smoke this like
you
all
don't
fucking day.
you
Yeah.
don't you don't smoke the same cigar twice in one day, and I
No.
normally don't either.
Never. Never.
So
Never.
that says a lot. Okay, so you heard it first. And what cigar was it that you're smoking again?
I am smoking the okay, now I can't find my it's the Lancero. Now help me out, Hector.
It's 1974 Quesada Lancero. With
1974 Casada
yeah,
Lancero.
yeah,
You heard it right
yes.
here on the Twisted Pair from Leaf and Grain Society. Miss Ash Red, in her pirate costume, has stated that this is a multiple day, everyday smoke.
It is.
20
And it hurt.
boxes.
Yeah, it hurts me to say that because I wanted to prove Hector wrong. I wanted to give him heck because he knows I'm about giving him heck, and I can't.
Yeah, and be expecting a song coming from Hector in the coming year that is going to be titled the Hector Heck. It's going to be an Arizonan influenced
No, I wanted El
country song.
Paso. No, I wanted El
Okay,
Paso.
El
Yeah,
Paso influenced country
that
song
bilingual.
from Hector, the Hector Heck. Okay, so I've been smoking this entire show the Casada 2023, and I had my first Casada last year. I have seen a 2019 and a 2021, but I never picked them up because I didn't know anything about Casada at the time. I met Hector at the same time that Red did, and he was repping for a different company at the time, and then met him again at a cut and light here in the DFW area. This cigar, if you can find the cigar, I'm going to
Yeah.
say right off the bat, this cigar is box worthy. If you can find a box, jump on it.
You're not
This
going to be
is
able
an
to find a box. I'm going to
You're not
straight
going
up
to be
say
able to. You're not going to be able to.
it. If you can
So
find
so
one, if you can
if
find
you can
one,
find
snatch
one,
it.
if
Snatch
you can
it.
find 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, snatch them up, grab them. Great price points on the cigar. This this one is a torpedo shape, and I want you to look at that ash. For you to get down into the final third on a torpedo and it still maintain that quality of an ash, that says a lot about the construction. I have not had to relight it. The ash is
Yeah.
nice and white. It's a nice even burn on it. You've seen multiple times throughout that it's got a nice burn cone on it. the the
Hmm.
the cocoa, the flavor consistency has been perfect all the way throughout. I've retrohaled a full retrohale multiple times. It has
Yeah.
not burned. It's got some beautiful floral notes in there. You can definitely tell that this is a Dominican influence with the San Andres wrapper, which is a brilliant blending. It's a brilliant blending that's
Mhm.
hard to do. To be able to marry up the s-
Mhm.
the intense flavors of a San Andres wrapper with
To a
with
Dominican.
to a Dominican, where Dominicans are known for their earthy notes, leathery notes, the floral, grassy hay type floral notes. Beautiful cigar. The website tells you to pair it with a scotch or a bourbon, and Red has said a rye. I agree 100%. I would not pair this with an Islay scotch. I would stick to the Highland and
No.
to the Speyside regions. Do not go with the Speyside because the Speyside will overpower this. This
Yes,
is
I'll
a
be lost.
this is it's a full intensity, but those flavor notes are not what would match a Speyside. Red wine, 100%. I went full body Cabernet. I mean,
Mhm.
the Cabernet Sauvignon is a strong, full body wine. Beautiful notes on us. From a beer, I obviously a stout. A stout's going to go good with
Yeah.
with that cocoa notes and those chocolatey notes. I would even go with this with an amber, maybe a porter. Um, I would even try this with. I'm curious to try this with an
You,
IPA.
yeah, I was gonna say you could do an IPA. So when you're doing the IPA, you could do like a mango. You don't want to do one more that's towards the pineapple because it will overpower it.
Yeah,
You could even do maybe I think an orange IPA. You know where you're gonna get those orange flavors. That would be really good.
that
IPA
that
would
would
be
really marry
phenomenal
up.
with that.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
marry
the
up
orange
nice
one
with
I
those
think.
Dominicans.
Yeah, the orange or
Um,
mango would be my go-to.
and I don't know that I would. And you correct me if I'm wrong on this one, Red. I don't know that if I would go with a single hop, I would probably try to go for a double or a triple hop
Yeah,
IPA with this because you don't want
different
those
contrast.
overly strong lemony and lime citrus
No,
notes,
you
but you
don't.
do
No,
want
no.
mango, maybe a grapefruit, orange style type IPAs.
I would kind of almost stay away with the grapefruit because the grapefruit can
Okay,
be overpowering. Depends on that one. So that's why I'm saying I go with more of the orange and the mango, your tropical for that on those
absolutely.
for the
So
IPAs.
there you go. That is the final verdict, and we will be right back. I'm cutting
So,
these videos short because I want to be a little bit respectful to our time, but I would
mhm,
also be remiss if I didn't say that we are putting these two segments out there to bring out different
mhm.
types of um, content for our show, but also we're looking for sponsors. So anybody that wants to sponsor these two segments, please hit Red and or myself up in the DMs
Mhm.
or hit us up on Facebook or our website. Let us know.
It and I also kind of want to say something here too. I don't know where I'm pointing. uh, so, um, and I think this goes back to Casada because I have smoked. I mean, literally, if you look at my Facebook, it's been like Casada for the last 2 or 3 weeks for real. And every cigar that I've had, it's been consistent. And the thing is like I kind of wanted to bring up is like Graybeard, you're outside, and our humidity has been like insane for the last couple of days because we've
Yes.
had rain and just different types of the weather and everything. And so Casada has always been consistent. It's like that beautiful ash, the construction on it, it's a quality cigar. And that's kind of like what I wanted to come back is because y'all are premium. And a lot of people is like, no, he's not drinking a monster. Yes, he's not drinking a monster. No, he's not. So, and I think it's because like you brought up a good point because someone said I'm not familiar with the brand, but y'all been around, and I want to say within the last couple of years, Quesada has just been like, it's kind of like a wildfire that's gone through. And even when I go into lounges, and like I told you this, Hector, I said I had a cigar lounge reach out to me when I was talking to them, and they said, I smoked a barber pole, and they just remembered the leaf. That's all they remember. It was gold, and it had a leaf. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, oh, that's my friend with Hector and Brian. And I said, it's with Quesada. And they're like, I haven't seen them around. So the last 2 years, I just want to say that y'all have just like picked up, and I'm super excited. So I kind of want, because we kind of briefly touched about that, but I really want people to understand the quality that they're getting when they're smoking a Casada. It's not just like a crap cigar.
No, thank you, and it's true. You know, we're back full force. I mean, never gone anywhere, but we're just
Right.
we're just getting, you know, a lot of momentum, and obviously, you know, with the support of everyone, our reps, our brokers, factory, Manolo, Raquel. So it's a team effort. It's not just one person. It's everyone.
Right.
You know, if we
Right.
couldn't we couldn't go out there and sell cigars if they wouldn't be making great cigars. That we couldn't, you know, if Manolo wouldn't be blending these amazing cigars, we couldn't have that same profiles or the same enjoyment from these cigars. So obviously it takes a team effort, but you know, and it's all about the people that we have, and
Mm-hmm.
and, and it's all about you guys also that support us, and stores that support us, and we're a big brick and mortar supporters, and we always try to do our best to do events, and to be helpful, and to be available through like social media, or
Yeah.
I mean, we get a ton of emails all the time, like, where can I get this, where can I get that? And so we do our best to have our website updated with the latest, where new stores are opening all the time. We're putting more
Yeah.
cigars and shops. So for example, and here in Arizona, Castro's in Phoenix just opened a few months ago, and I came in, and this was so out of everything. I came out to see another shop, and they told me there's this shop is opening, and so I stopped by, and as soon as I walked in, I had this shirt, and they're like, and I just heard Quesada, and I'm like, what? And so I walk in, and I'm talking to the manager, and the people, Don, who works here, and they were so excited to see me, and they've been great supporters. I mean, we have a lot of lines here, we have a lot of presence, and every time I come in, I run into people like, hey man, I smoked that España, I smoked the
Mm-hmm.
Oktoberfest, I smoked the Liga F, the Connecticut, and so it's really nice to hear that people are enjoying their cigars. You know,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I work for this company, so you know, I've always get I always get asked, what can I do this? How can what can I pair it with? And so I'm always trying to be helpful, and I do thank you for you to, you know, to say this, because I mean, to make a great cigar is not easy. You know, it
No, it's
takes a
Mm-mm.
not.
lot of talent,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of selection for the tobacco. So one thing that we didn't touch, that we kind of mentioned, we kind of
Yeah.
I said something else, and we kind of moved around, is that our tobacco. I mean, essentially the Quesada family has been in the tobacco business. They were leaf brokers, and so they know tobacco. They
Mm-hmm.
know where to source it, how to keep it, how to manage it, how to make the cigar. So it starts from there. It starts from the fields. It starts from the selection of the
Mm-hmm.
tobacco. Some of the tobacco, obviously, we get it from vendors, because it's from Nicaragua, or it's from Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
So we get it from
Right.
some of. So selecting the right vendor that's gonna have the right leaf, it's really
Mm-hmm.
important. How do you know that? With experience, with
Mm-hmm.
knowledge, and that's with Raquel and Manolo, and the guys at the factory. That's years and years of expertise. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't tell you one thing from the other, because I've only been in the business for such a short time. But
Mm-hmm.
Manolo has been all his life in the business, and Raquel,
Right.
since she was born. I mean, she was in
Yeah,
the
I was gonna
fields,
say
and
she was born into it, which is a
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's
So it's
beautiful.
it's 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 really it's really an effort, and for them to put their heart and soul into this company, and to be able to be run it by the family. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So you know, I feel, even though my last name is not Quesada, I feel like I'm a Quesada at heart, because I live, breathe and breathe,
Mhm.
this industry and this brand. And, and I guess it shows, when you're talking to me, I'm so passionate, right? I'm so
You
like
you
into it.
you are. You are.
I'm willing to drink bourbon today with you guys instead of
I
my
know.
monster.
I was so that like. Let me tell you, that made my heart like so super happy to see that. You can't imagine. But I just kind of want to. We've talked about nubbing cigars, and here's my thing: is like if you're able to nub it, and there's going to be things. There's like there's some cigars. I'm going to be real honest. I can't nub it, and I leave about like that much on the end. So if I leave, like you can even see my, do you see my lipstick stains? Because
Yeah.
I'm nubbing the cigar, because that means that it's a good, and we keep showing you the ash, and it's because it's the construction, how it's built. It is like, I can't talk enough about it. And y'all know that that's one thing is we've been honest. We've been like in the final judgment. I think some people kind of get nervous about our final judgment because there's times that I've said it's not for my palate.
Yep.
It's not for me. But
And
the
that's
fact
fine.
that
That's fine.
yeah,
There's cigars for
y'all
everyone.
right,
You know,
and there is, and but like the thing is like I just wanted to like highlight the quality and the care that the family has brought to this, and it's kind of
I want to say something about that because you brought out that this is like an ultra premium cigar. This, I mean, I would put this cigar up there with a lot of the elite
yeah,
cigars lines out there. But understand that the price points on
price
these,
point.
the
It's
price
not
points
elite.
no, the price points you're not gonna find the $30 cigars on these up here. But the quality of the construction, the flavors, the consistency, um, subtle transitions on there, and
Yes,
you want
it's
those
beautiful.
transitions to be subtle. You don't want
Subtle.
those transitions to be
First
harsh
third,
from
second third,
first
third
third,
third.
second third.
No.
These are beautiful, beautifully constructed, beautifully hand rolled. These to me these are the luxury style cigars
Yeah.
at an everyday consumer's price point,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal. I don't know how you guys are doing this because I'm
But don't
smoking this. I
change
can
it,
tell.
please.
Please don't change it. Please don't change it. Um,
Just because
it's
we say
beautiful
we pay
and
more, don't make us.
no, and it all comes down to if you got, I mean, if you're in this business, and for example, we have our own box factory, we have our own tobacco. Obviously, we buy tobacco from other vendors,
Right.
obviously, but we have our factory, we have everything. We have
Hmm.
Manolo, who's a master blender. We have Raquel. We have master blenders who are helping every day. So we have the tools. So essentially we're the new word I guess I've been hearing is a vertically integrated company, right? we
Yeah.
we pretty much do it, and so that's a key factor to, I guess, the having a good cigar, where you don't
Hmm.
depend on well, somebody else is rolling my cigars or somebody else is doing my boxes, where you
Right.
have to depend on those kinds of things. So so obviously we are grateful that we have those things, and we try to do justice when we're out there and selling our cigars and getting into people's hands, and the true testament is right there. The heart and soul we put into our product, and I'm so happy to hear that you like it. And like I said, sometimes people try one of our cigars and they're like, well, I don't really like the cigar, it's not for me. That's fine. We have other lines, they try other lines and they like
yes.
them. So
Yeah.
it's all preference.
Right. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up about because I said y'all are like the easiest band that I've ever pulled off out of any cigars. And as we talked about, we smoke a ton of cigars. And especially, people think, oh, it's easier to, if you have long nails, you can get the band off. That's not true.
Nope.
It's harder to get the band off. A lot of times I give Graybeard my cigar. I think I even gave Hector or Brian my cigar, for a different, different ones. But like every Casada cigar that I've ever taken the band off, I could take it off without someone else. So y'all don't overglue it. You don't do that. But one thing I kind of want to bring up is y'all have beautiful boxes too,
Right.
and y'all's
Yes.
labels, they're classy. It draws attention, and this is where the girly part comes out in me, and I can say this, okay? Y'all's bands and like the colors and the boxes, the presentation is beautiful and classy. And that's when we're
Thank you.
saying it's that upper level of the cigars. It's like those legacy cigars. And I just want to give y'all kudos and props to that because not everybody has that.
Thank you. And I'll tell you this. So when I was at the factory the first time, my first kind of tour with Manolo and Raquel, I overheard a conversation about glue, and if something it's if there's something that bothers them is that over gluing the bands, and he's so particular of making sure that right amount of glue is put into these bands. So even to that
Thank
detail,
you.
right? He's
Yes.
like really pressing on, because you want, when you want to take off your band, you want to make sure that band comes off nicely and doesn't take part of your wrapper, because it's a really bummer when you're
Yes.
taking it off,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
you're
Yes.
like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
you're like, really? And then it kind of
You're
puts
like,
a really
fuck.
damper on that. Yeah, you're like, F that.
Yeah.
That
And
I was
that,
going to say that because the two parts, one of the things that is consistent around every cigar smoker, not necessarily people who smoke cigars, but the connoisseurs. Like, I mean, we all smoke cigars. Yes, this is our business, but we smoke cigars for enjoyment, primarily for
mhm,
enjoyment. And we love keeping our bands. We want to keep our
yeah.
bands. And so when the
Yeah.
band just rips, that's frustrating. But what's so frustrating is when that band will rip the wrapper and then it starts unraveling and you're just like, but I still have a half or a third cigar coming back out. No, I don't want that.
Mhm.
And I notice that, and I've noticed that on every
It's
single
consistent.
Quesada cigar. I mean, and I've smoked the Magas, or the
Mega.
the one that start, yeah, the Manga. Thank you, not the Magas.
Mhm.
Although I do agree with making America great again. But the mangas, I've smoked the mangas. I haven't smoked the Lancero version of the one that you have,
Oh,
but I have smoked the other ones. Now I want to get the Lancero. I mean,
Oh yeah, you
come
got to
on,
get
two
the
to three
Lancero.
cigar a day from Red. That
Yeah.
that's that speaks a lot.
yeah. I smoked three Lanceros today. Different meetings that I went in. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna smoke another Lancero, and then I went to another. It's so funny because my first meeting was like, I think I will leave. It was like 9:30 in the morning, and this shop is open super early, so I love it. And so I went in there and I smoked a Lancero, and then I went to another meeting, and then I'm like, hey, do you mind if I smoke another cigar with you guys? Like, oh no, smoke a cigar. So I grab another Lancero, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I go to another meeting, and like the third one, and today, after at this show, I broke it up and I smoked a Vega, which is also a great cigar. So I was like, but I could do 4 or 5. So I mean, I have no problem. And I mean,
Yeah.
thank God that the factory sends me a lot of lanceros for me that I can smoke, because they know I surely like those lanceros. So
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
it,
they support that habit.
Yeah. So it is definitely. But I did want to say something because like I had someone ask. Okay, so I'm going to like bring up about why I look like a pirate. I do have it's like the elephant in the room that we've kind of been avoiding. Is I do have a bacterial infection. It's not pink eye, but my eye is extremely swollen and grotesque. So I didn't want to scare off viewers tonight with that because I wouldn't want to look at it. In fact, my kids at school asked if I got into like a big fight because my eye is so swollen. So that's kind of the joke thing. But thank you. I'm okay. I'm on 3 different meds, so I just kind of thank you for reaching out and asking if I'm okay. But yeah, I decided to do the pirate look because I think it's like whenever also when you're smoking cigar, it's like appearances are really important. And if something doesn't look right, you're not going to smoke it. And if someone is on a podcast and they're not looking right, it's going to turn you off to the cigar. And I don't want y'all to be turned off to Casada because they they're doing everything perfect. It's
Oh,
a
thank
great
you.
company. And that's why I've been a groupie and I've been stalking them for the last couple weeks.
I gotta say that I like this look. I think you need to come back with this look more often. Except for move it over to the to your other eye. That way you can actually see. Because I know that you're blind
Yeah.
in that eye.
Yeah, I can't see. Like, I did, like, I had to make some of the comments bigger, but, like, y'all are all blurry. I can't even see what y'all are doing. Like, y'all could probably flip me off, and
Do you
I'd
know
be
I
like,
look like
oh,
Brad Pitt? I look like
oh, you
Brad
look
Pitt,
like Brad.
actually. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're Brad
Mexican
Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, Mexican Brad Pitt. Shoot. Man, I work.
That's it. All right, thank you for the show, guys. I'm removing him now.
Well, and there's something else that I wanted to yeah, someone said I think it's something Halloween something. I can't
Oh yeah, your
remember.
Halloween costume preview.
Yes.
Yes, I'm getting ready for Halloween. I think we even joked about that. But
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we did. Um Now I forgot where I was going with that. God damn it.
Well,
Who
while she's trying to remember where she was going, if you guys have any more questions for Hector about his journey through cigars or about Quesada Cigars, please let us know. Now's the time to be bringing in those questions before we bring this show to a close.
But
Yeah.
I
Also,
also
if
want to
follow us on
yeah.
social media, Quesada Cigars on Instagram, or you can follow me on Instagram. It's Hector_Cigars TX. I always tell people, if you don't want to know where I'm at, follow me on Instagram, because pretty much I'll tag the city I'm in or the lounge I'm in, and so there you go. And so I'm all over the place. All my friends are always like, Hector, you're like at Florida one week, the second one you're in
Yeah.
Arizona, or yeah. I mean, this is the great thing about the industry that I'm in, is that I get to meet great people, and I get to make great friendships. And every time I come back to the stores, every other states or cities or whatever, I always get that warm welcome, which is amazing. And I'm
Yeah.
truly blessed to have those relationships with all these amazing people. So I'm thankful for
Am I
that. And
included in that?
yes, of course. Thank you.
Aw.
You too. You too. No, but like I said, I'm in a lounge. So if it gets a little more noisy, it's because there's more people coming in. I think we have a full house. They're looking at me weird because I'm taking 4 spaces. They're like, Hector, move. but
So it reminds everyone which lounge you're at. So if
So
they're in
I'm
the
in.
Phoenix
So
area,
so if you're in the Phoenix area, I'm at Castro's. It's on Warner Street. Great people. They have, I mean, obviously they carry our lines. They have a great bar. Adam, who's one of the head, oh my God, I forgot what it's called. He makes amazing drinks, and they actually develop a tasting drink menu for our different cigars. So if you come in and you want to smoke a Liga F, they have a specialty drink for that. If you want to smoke a Colorado, they have a specialty drink for that, for the
oh
Connecticut.
man,
So
I just need to
so
go out to Phoenix just to go
you
visit
you
them.
have to, yes,
Yes,
yes.
we need
So
to. Road trip.
so right, yeah, and it's only like yeah, you guys are a little farther, but if you ever come down here, make sure to get one of those specialty drinks. And I think one of my favorite drinks is the old fashioned. They pair it with the Liga F, and it just opens up that
Mhm.
cigar really well. But
Oh,
yeah,
I can see that. I can see. I've smoked the Liga F, and with an old
It's a
fashioned
good
would be
one.
really good. I would also another mixed drink. I would take that one with a Boulevardier and a Manhattan. So
I was gonna say a
different
Manhattan.
variations. Yeah, it
there
would
you
be
go.
really good. So we got a question from Mr. Alexander. Do you ever make it up to Seattle?
I no, not yet. It's in my plans. We have an amazing broker up there, Steven, and so it's in my plans to go up there. Also, we'll be in the New York area in, I believe, in January. So yes, so I will make it. I will make it there. It's just you know I have to take some personal time, because I travel sometimes 3 weeks out of the month, so I need to get home
Stay
and
home.
relax, and
Yeah,
yeah, and
get
see
it
the
together.
puppies and everyone. So yeah, it's hard sometimes, but I want to be everywhere. So Yes. So if you follow me on social media, I'll announce where I'm going to be different locations and my road trips and all that fun information.
And he's also
So
great about posting what other of his reps are in that area as well.
Yeah. Yes, of
yes,
course.
and for the Texas and Louisiana area, we have Brian Diggins, which Brian Diggins is very well known in the industry, and I'm so glad to see that you guys have brought
Pick
him
him
on.
up.
And and if you want to know where you can buy his cigars, then go out to the website. They've got a fantastic store locator.
Phenomenal.
Really good job with the website. You know, that's the IT guy in me, coming back with that one. Billionaire asks a question of how often do you get down to the factory?
I usually, so it's sometimes twice a year. I usually go down. So our TAA convention, sometimes it's held in Dominican Republic. So I will go down for that, and then usually we do a sales meeting also in Dominican Republic. So, you know, twice a year, sometimes once a year, but I try to go as many times as possible. I love spending time over there. You know, obviously they want me to be in the States because that's where my job is.
That's
But
your job title.
being in the factory is just an amazing time. I mean, I go up there, I see the people working, and you know, I got to go to the fields and to the barns, and you know, you need that I guess that knowledge and that experience. And once you do that, you'll definitely understand and you appreciate more of the cigar and what it really takes to make a cigar. And you know, once that happens, it just clicks on you, and you know, just you appreciate it a little more.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
are you guys available internationally?
Yes, we are. We actually have distributors in Asia and Europe. Actually, Raquel
Wow.
just came back from the Inter Tabac, which I believe I was told, is one of the biggest trade shows, even more than
It's
PCA,
It
for
Yep,
is.
cigars.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
yep,
handled a little
it's
different, but yeah, it is. It's crazy. I saw all the pictures. Amazing time over there. So hopefully next year I can make it up there. But if not, I'll just live through Raquel's pictures because they're really
yes.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I saw some of her pictures up there, so yeah, I knew the answer
Mm-hmm.
that you guys were at the Inner
Mm-hmm.
Tobacc there in Germany, with a lot of our other friends. We know that Pedro
Yeah.
from Drew Estate was there, Karen Berger was
Karen.
just
Mm-hmm.
there, Sebastian from Cavalier was there.
Mm-hmm. Which
So
is there.
if you're ever have the opportunity to visit there or to go to that trade show, then I would recommend it. That's on my bucket list to go. We need to do a leaf and grain appearance out
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So final questions. Final question is: do you allow tours through the factory? Do you guys do tours?
Yes, we do tours, and usually are put together by stores. And you know, I always tell people if you really want to go down to the factory, let me know. And I mean, if you go to DR, I can arrange for you to come in and you know, kind of get a private tour. And so we're open. We love receiving people. We love showing people what we do. And just you know, hit me up on Instagram and or any other social media, and we can definitely accommodate that. But usually stores set up a group tour, and we have for
Mm-hmm.
that we do have specific dates, just because they're bigger tours, and we have to you know
Yeah.
arrange transportation and all that to come into the factory, and you know we have to set up space for them. So yeah, so we do that too.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Very
Well,
cool.
you guys heard it from directly from Hector Quesada. I'm going to go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
give you that last name. Hector
Yeah, Hector. I know
Quesada.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna start naming you Hector Casada. Hector
Yes,
Head
Hector
Casada.
Quesada. So we've got some great shows coming up. Next week is going to be a pairing. So Red and I are going
Oh,
to come up with a pairing and bring that to you. We don't know what it is just yet, but I've got some ideas. I've got some thoughts. We have got in the coming weeks. We've got one of the first African puros. This cigar is 100% African. It is blended there. The tobacco is grown there. Uh, it is a very unique cigar. I'm excited about having them on the show. So keep your eyes out. We've got a lot of really great articles that have been producing. We are doing press releases, news. We've got some wine articles that are coming up. We've got some articles on whiskeys. We've got some pairing articles that are coming up, and we've got some more reviews coming up. So please go out and check out our website. Uh, Please, 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 if you're viewing us on YouTube right now, hit that subscribe button. Help us out. Hit that subscribe button and help us grow that. Get that up higher because that helps us out. More than anything else right now, that helps us out immensely. And follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, go out to our page and hit our like, go out to our page on LinkedIn
We're
and
everywhere.
like there we're everywhere, yes. Um, Millionaire, I'm not going to bring this question up because he's already answered that one. Um, but so you probably have he
You
answered that
gotta
one
go
right
back and
off the
watch
bat.
it.
You're gonna have to go back and rewatch that. Um, I want to respect Hector's time. He's got
And y'all are
he's
getting
there in the
cross-eyed
lounge.
too.
Yeah, he's got a lounge. Yeah, you're telling us
Red's
that we're
getting
getting cross-eyed.
cross-eyed. Yeah,
You're
I'm
getting
getting so
cross-eyed.
cross-eyed. Like
So
y'all are going every which way.
we thank you. We love you. Come back next week for a cigar pairing. Again, you two stay on just for a minute, but as we always say, explore the pairings.
There's something for everyone. Have a good night,
Yeah.
y'all.
Thank you
Take care,
Bye.
guys. Have a good
everybody.
night. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.